Hello, this is Brian Rowe with Mythic MTG Tech looking at the top 10 clones for EDH. Clones of Tarkir has really inspired me to do this video. I'm super excited about one of the new cards in the set. All the cards here are under $20 and we're avoiding combo bait. Sorry, Necrotic Ooze, you're only on the honorable mention. The history of clones is very deep. Clones have been around since the beginning of Magic. Vesuvan Doppelganger was a wonderful card with amazing artwork when I was a kid. Going back to power levels, not that great, but it was so much fun. Copy Artifact is a very powerful clone, and the name of this video comes from Clone, which was in Alpha and Beta. The rules for clones, though, are often confusing for people, and we're just going to breeze over a few of the top points. First, they enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, generally. That means that it does not target. There's no target listed here, so you can clone things that have hexproof or shroud. You do not choose until resolving. If your opponent wants to get rid of a creature because they're worried that you're going to clone it, they got to get rid of it before you've even chosen what you are cloning. Clones also trigger enter the battlefield. You clone something like an acidic slime, you're going to get that enter the battlefield, destroy target artifact, enchantment, or land. Super powerful. The other thing that has really upped the power of clones is the new legend and planeswalker rules, and it's what makes Clever Impersonator so powerful. You can have a copy of a planeswalker or a legendary creature that your opponent also has on the board. You can't have two of them yourself, but there can be one per side. That makes Clever Impersonator amazing because you can copy planeswalkers and use them. Also, I strongly recommend making friends with a level 2 judge because the more you play clones, the more weird rules questions you're going to get. We could do 30 minutes on rules, but I'd rather move on to the clones. Honorable mentions here, I've got Duplicant. It's almost a clone. It does everything except get the cool abilities, but it has the added ability of removing things. Copy Enchantment is here. There's stronger versions of it. I'm just glad that they finally rounded out the set and have Copy Enchantment. Necrotic Ooze is probably one of the most broken ones here, but I always see it in combo decks. Number 10 spot here, I've got Minion Reflector. It is an incredible card that lets you clone your own creatures and give them haste. I enjoy this with Solemn Simulacrum. I've also seen other people do it with crazy things like Eldrazi. Incredible card, playable in any deck. In the number 9 spot here, I've got Phyrexian Metamorph and Sculpting Steel, which are really the updated versions of Copy Artifact. They are better than Copy Artifact 98% of the time. Yes, they got a little bit larger casting cost, but they are more flexible. In Sculpting Steel, you can play it in any color, and in Phyrexian Metamorph, you can still copy creatures. Incredible, powerful cards. In the 8th spot here, I've got Progenitor Mimic, which is really the Tribble of clones. I've seen this guy take over a table all by himself, especially with a nice enter the battlefield effect. The number 7 spot here, I've got Dimir Doppelganger. I've got it this high on the list because the flavor is so strong. It really makes sense to be able to pull things out of somebody else's graveyard and turn your clone into it, and the artwork is just creepy. The number 6 spot here, I've got Cryptoplasm. About 80% of the time, it's better than a Vesuvan Doppelganger because it drops much earlier. It's an incredible card. I definitely enjoy it. I just wish it had amazing artwork the way that the original Vesuvan does. The number 5 spot here, I've got 2 updates on the clone that are adding more flavor to the clone by putting in a second color. Evil Twin is very Dimir. I like it a lot in EDH. Dack's Duplicant, though, is super powerful. Haste matters a lot, and Dethrone is a nice little addition so that you end up often being the larger of the 2 copies out on the board. Number 4 spot here, I've got Splitting Image. Power-wise, this is an incredible card. If you're not familiar with the Retrace, definitely take a minute to read it. You may play this card from your graveyard by discarding a land in addition to paying its other costs. Super powerful card. You can cast this again and again and again. 6 casting cost is a little high, but it's well worth it. The number 3 spot here, I've got Clever Impersonator. Yes, I haven't gotten a chance to play it yet, but it's a clone that copies planeswalkers. What more can I say? Well, it also copies artifacts. Incredible card. I look forward to playing it. I would pick up the foil versions of it right now before they go through the roof because EDH players are going to love playing this, and this may even make it into some cubes. Number 2 spot here, I've got Thespian Stage, which has really revitalized the Dark Depths deck in Legacy, and it is so useful in EDH. I have seen it be mana correction many, many times, grabbing a copy of a dual land, very nice, but it's also utility. 2 Maze of This on the board is incredibly powerful. Your opponent has something broken like a Mishra's Workshop, your $1 card is copying that. Great card, definitely pick up the foils now. Long term, this is going to be an EDH favorite. In the number 1 spot here, I've got Phantasmal Image, just because it's broken. 2 mana clones are super powerful. Yes, it's got a big drawback, but you can play into that. Copy a Wormcoil engine. You lose the Wormcoil, you still get the 2/3/3s, use your Sun Titan to bring him back. 2 mana clones are just super powerful. I really enjoy this guy. Also, think about cloning something that has hexproof or shroud. That way you don't have to deal with the downside. The last one that I've got here is a fun bonus one, Quicksilver Gargantuan. How cool is it to have a 7/7 Raphaelis, or a 7/7 copy of anything? Remember, you can even cascade into this with Maelstrom Wanderer. I may have lost a few games to this guy. He is so much fun. Giant copies of your opponent's creatures are better than normal size copies. Supersize this clone. Thanks, this has been Brian Rowe with Mythic MTG Tech. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 5,000 viewers. Got something really cool coming out for our 5,000 viewer mark. Thank you also to everybody who's out there on Patreon supporting the channel.